SWOT analysis is a planning tool used to understand strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats involved in a project or a business. It is used as a framework for organizing and using data and information gained from situation analysis of internal and external environment. SWOT analysis enables a group or individual to handle everyday problems and look at traditional strategy from a new perspective. SWOT analysis or a SWOT matrix is a structured planning method used to evaluate the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats involved in a project or in a business venture. A SWOT analysis can be carried out for the product, place, industry, or person. It involves specifying the objective of the business venture or project and identifying the internal and external factors that are favorable and unfavorable to achieve that objective. What makes SWOT particularly powerful is that with a little thought it can help you uncover opportunity that you are well placed to exploit, and by understanding the weakness of your business you can manage the eliminate threat that would otherwise catch you unawares. More than this, by looking at yourself and your competitor using the SWOT framework, you can start to craft a strategy that helps you distinguish yourself from your competitor so that you can compete successful in the market. SWOT analysis aim to identify the key internal and external factors seen as important to achieving an objective. SWOT analysis group key piece of information into two main categories. The internal factors, the strength and weakness internal to organization. External factors, the opportunities and threats presented by the environment external to the organization. There are four quadrants that are present in the SWOT matrix. For short-term goal or objective, the organization should focus on at least one or two quadrants. For long-term, it is advisable to include the goals coming from each of the four quadrants in order to create a balance. A SWOT analysis is a first but critical step in developing an organization strategy. Second quadrant is examine a company's internal capability, its strength and weakness, and external environment, its opportunity and threats. Help to create strategy that can proactively contend with organization challenges. The third quadrant, hence you can use SWOT analysis, is to identify the area where you can have the most beneficial strategy and targets based on the current situation of the organization. The fourth quadrant, the analyzing SWOT is done through referring to the SWOT matrices. Strengths, characteristic of the business or a project that gives it an advantage over others. What advantage does your organization have? What do you do better than anyone else? What unique or lowest cost resources can you draw upon that other can't? What do people in your market see as your strength? What factor means that you get the sale? What is your organization unique selling proposing? Considering your strength from both an internal perspective and from the point of view of your customers and people in your market. Also, if you are having any difficulty identify strength, try writing down a list of your organization characteristics. Some of these will hopefully be strength. When looking at your strength, think about them in relation to your competitor. For example, if all of your competitors provide high quality product, then a high quality production process is not a strength in your organization market. It's necessity. Weakness, characteristics that place the business or a project at a disadvantage relative to others. What could you improve? What should you avoid? What are the people in the market likely to be see as a weakness? What factor does lose your sales? Again, consider this from an internal and external basis. Do other people seem to perceive weakness that you don't see? Are your competitor doing any better than you? It's the best to be realistic now and face by unpleasant truth as soon as possible. Opportunities, elements that the project could exploit to its advantage. These are what good opportunity can you spot? What interesting trends are you aware of? Useful opportunity can come from such things as change in technology and market on both a broad and narrow scale, change in government policy related to your field, change in social pattern, population profile, lifestyle changes, and so on. Local events. A useful approach when looking at opportunity is to look at your strength and ask yourself whether these open up any opportunity. Alternatively, look at your weakness and ask yourself whether you could open up opportunity by eliminating them. Threats, elements in the environment that could cause troubles for the business or a project. What obstacles do you face? What are your competitors doing? Are quality standard or specification for your job, products or service changing? Is changing technology threatening your position? Do you have bad debt or a cash flow problem? Could any of your weakness seriously threaten your business? The following are the steps for conducting a SWOT analysis. Analyze internal and external environment. Perform SWOT analysis and document. Prepare action plan. Let us look at each element. Analyze internal and external environments. The first step of SWOT analysis is to analyze the situation from both internal and external aspect. Hence, carrying out the internal analysis will help you to find the strengths and weakness of your organization that is affect the situation. On the other hand, carrying out the external analysis will help you to find the opportunity and threat that are external but will affect your organization in the situation. Perform SWOT analysis and document. Establish the objective. You should determine the purpose of conducting a SWOT. It may be wide, narrow, general, or specific. Select contributor. Expert opinion may be required for SWOT. Allocate research and information gathering tasks. Background preparation can be carried out in two stages: exploratory and detailed. Information on strength and weakness should focus on the internal factor, and information on opportunity and threat should focus on the external factor. Create a workshop environment. You should encourage an atmosphere conducting to the free flow of information. List SWOT analysis. List the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat in the SWOT matrix. Evaluated listed ideas against objective. After the list are compiled in the SWOT matrix, you should sort and group fact and idea in the relation to the objectives. Carry your finding forward. Make sure that SWOT analysis is used in subsequent planning. Revisit your findings at suitable time intervals. Prepare action plan. After the SWOT analysis has been completed, you should make sure to mark each point with things that must be addressed immediately, things that can be handled later, things that should be researched further, things that should be planned for the future. SWOT analysis is greatly used in a competitor analysis. Marketers build detailed profile of each competitor in the market, focusing especially on their relative competitive strength and weakness by using SWOT analysis. Marketing manager examine each competitor cost structure, source of profit, resources, and competency. Competitive positioning and product differentiation. Degree of vertical integration, historical responses to industry development, and other factors. The management often conduct market research to obtain this information about its competition.